92.5 FM.
Family, welcome in. Glad you're along for the ride. The new drug today is Carline back in the fold.
It's good to see you.
How was your vacation? Good?
It was great.
You had a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time until I scratched my eye Friday morning.
Yeah,
and
you told me
had,
about that.
The worst weekend I've had in a while, but I'm on the mend.
You told me about that.
I apologize if you're watching us on video. You get to see my disgusting right eye, but I'm taking drops and we're getting it corrected.
I thought maybe
we're getting better.
I thought I'd put logic to it. I thought maybe you had gone a few rounds with Tyson Fury and gotten a thumb in the eye. It wasn't that.
Yeah, I wish.
It wasn't
That'd be
that.
a better story.
So you scratched your eye.
Yeah.
Your eye's kind of shut now, huh?
I mean, it's not shut, but it's just really, really red.
Okay, all right.
I'm in agony, but, I'll bow
Go to the doctor?
Yeah.
You go to the doctor?
I went to the care spot yesterday.
Okay.
Because thankfully when Jean saw me Saturday night, she about fainted and was like, "Oh my God, we've got to get you in there like first thing tomorrow."
Yeah, most guys, a lot of times guys don't go to the doctor because we're pretty much stupid.
That's how I am.
I mean, guys are stupid.
I didn't know,
and it's okay that we're stupid because we're charmingly stupid, but we're stupid.
We are stupid, and I'm the king of the stupid people. And so I just assumed, because anytime I have like a cold, I never go to the doctor. I'm like, it'll eventually get better, and I'm not going to go. Well, I was taking that approach. I started to feel symptoms of this Friday, but I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll get better. I'll be better tomorrow. Then Saturday I was in agony, but I still was like, it'll get better. Tomorrow it'll be better. And then Jean was like, no. This has got to get like treated immediately, if not sooner. And I just didn't know with your eye, it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. So lesson learned. And if you ever scratch your eye out there, get antibiotic drops immediately, or you will suffer.
You don't know how you did it. Just rubbing your eye was dry.
I think I just woke up and my eye was kind of dry, and I went to rub it, and 3 cornea scratches later, here we are. But but I'm fine. I'm ready to inform and entertain to the best of my ability.
Well, you were good at both, so I think we're in a good spot. JJ LaSelva's here. How was your weekend, bro? Good.
Much better than that.
Yeah. Well, the Braves can't lose,
dude. The Braves are on a hot streak, and every single team in the division besides them sucks.
Yeah, but I thought about this today when and hating you in the process. the Braves are 14-7.
15-7, aren't they?
Is it 15 now?
Yeah, we won last night, Frank.
How
dare you?
And everybody else in the division's under 500. The Pirates are finally good.
Everybody's
and the whole damn division's good. Of course, when we're finally good, the whole division's good. Of course it is. I mean, that's my luck.
I was shocked when I looked at it this morning. The Braves have a 5-game lead.
Oh yeah,
in the NL East.
And the Braves
5-game lead. The season just started.
Yeah, the Mets have lost 11 straight at this point. It's awesome.
How they've lost 11 in a row
in baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
it might be time to move on from Billy Napier.
My friend Dan Hicken, has often accused me of causing that because I've often said I think the Mets are going to be good and they're bad, and then he texts me and chastises me. Hick, if you're listening, this one's not on me. I never claimed they were good. But so I'm not. Don't put this one on me. I mean, the Braves just took the Phillies to the woodshed.
They did. The Phillies only scored 3 runs in the whole series.
How about that?
And this is a team I picked to win the World Series, not the Braves, the Phillies.
Was that like 0 earned for Maddox, 1 earned for Glavine, and 2 earned
that's
for
how
Schmaltz?
it felt.
Avery actually pitched on him.
That's how it felt. So, all right.
Yeah, it was a fun sports weekend. Yeah. I mean, we did have NBA playoffs. If you like hockey, there was that. There was baseball, obviously, spring games everywhere, and there was soccer. It was just, football doesn't exist right now, but it's fine.
Yeah, golf was great.
Playoff in the PGA.
Great play. The Pirates beat the Rays yesterday. Sometimes with the MLB TV, you can't watch it if it's one of the local teams, and your team's not. But I've got the right friends, and so I was able to find a way to watch that, and I watched every pitch of the game. You got to have friends. Hayes, it's all about friends.
Friends in low places.
Friends in low places. You know what? That would be a friend in low places. That's exactly what happened.
He's a good fella.
Yeah.
And you're welcome.
Thank you for that, my friend in low places. So I watched every pitch of the game, and I shouted out and thanked my friend in a very low place.
Because you can never be so sure with those sites.
Yeah, so
hit or miss.
So thank you for that. That was
Shinlu declaring for the draft, but will maintain eligibility.
Oh, so he has announced. We knew the announcement was coming. So
Gators PR just sent it out.
So Ruben Chinulu, we got a lot of things to get to today, but Ruben Chinulu to declare for the NBA draft while maintaining his eligibility so he can still return to the Gators, which I'm guessing is what he's probably going to.
Now, yeah, is that like a play to get more money from the Gators, like using that as sort of leverage? I guess.
From what I'm told, the negotiations between Reuben and the Gators are coming to a close, but they were somewhat intense. I can tell you that. I am told that they were intense. Hayes, I think you probably heard that too. So my guess is he'll probably play for Florida next year. This will be similar to Condon a year ago. So my guess is he probably comes back. But
he probably just wants to get a sense of like,
what do you think?
Yeah, what do I need to work on?
Yeah.
You know?
Remember, Flan did that last year.
Right.
Condon did it last year. It's very didn't
what do you
help
have to lose?
And I didn't realize this. And by the way, you did a great job with Hacker and O'Halloran last week. I got a chance to listen to a lot of the week, and it was really good. I think Hacker brought up the point that, like with Condon, he couldn't enter because you can only do it so many times.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Which I'd never heard.
I didn't mean either.
So Chinlilu obviously can, and it's like if you have that ability, then why not find out what they think of you and what you need to work on? I mean, everybody has an idea what he needs to work on, but you'd like to go to the most credible source, which is the league that you're trying to get drafted into.
Right. And by the way, the portal closes. Is it today or tomorrow? The portal closes. I think it might be tomorrow. The portal closes. What he's saying is, if I play college basketball, it's going to be with the Gators because he's not going to the portal. It's not like he's going to the portal and testing the NBA. So he's either going to the NBA or playing for Florida, and I think most of us expect that it'll be for Florida. So we'll certainly talk about that a little bit. The Jags have an offseason program has begun. We'll certainly get to that coming up. The ball coach is 81 today. Did you see that?
How about that?
The ball
Happy
coach,
birthday.
We're going to talk about some of our favorite Spurrier stories. I want to talk a little bit about the ball coach today. Scotty Scheffler. JJ, were you watching yesterday?
Honestly, I wasn't. I'm pissed that I wasn't, though, finding out that they went to a playoff.
So I told Hayes this story. Hayes and I had lunch with one of our clients today, so I told Hayes this story earlier. Usually I watch Sunday afternoon golf, but I played Saturday, and some other buddies wanted to play yesterday, so we were going to play at 4:30. We played at 4:30. It was a beautiful day yesterday. And so I'm watching the golf, and I'm hating that I'm going to kind of miss it, but I wanted to play golf. So it's Fitzpatrick's 19 under, Scheffler's 15, and I'm watching it. He gets to 16, so he gets to where he's back 3. I think probably around 12, 11 or 12. You know, 5 or 6 holes to play, 6 or 7. And I'm like, you know what? I got my golf cart, started going to play golf. I said, he's going to catch him. It's Scheffler, and I said, I'm telling you, he's going to catch him. So we're on the golf course, and one of my buddies is following it, and sure enough, he caught him. Now I also thought he would win once they got to playoff. I said, well, Fitzpatrick, this is over, and Fitzpatrick hit the 4-iron for the ages, and won. But what I'll say it again, what great drama we have these days in golf. At least for me, it's as good as I can ever remember.
The fact that the PGA Tour was able to sustain such a fundamental threat to their existence, like Live Golf, and 3-4 years later have the stable of elite competitors that they have, it is incredible. It's great to see Fitzpatrick, a former U.S. Open champ, finding his form, and he may win another one in a couple of months, but he's been great all year.
Yeah, yes.
I'll say this for Colin Morikawa. Colin Morikawa, if he doesn't hurt his back at the Players, who knows what kind of year he's having.
He's playing really well.
Because he was great going in, obviously.
Right.
And as soon as and I don't even know that he's 100%, but he's really battling. He's a great young player. And the tour has been able to, like Spieth fading, Justin Thomas kind of fading. Like, you would think that would be devastating for a tour that has already lost several promising players to a upstart competitor. And Scheffler's incredible, and Rory's incredible. But the depth, they've gotten that sport, the PGA Tour has gotten that tour to a point where they are producing new stars. Cameron Young, Xander Schauffele is getting ready to go through a tear this summer.
Agreed.
Lee Smith talked about him a month or so ago. He had the rib injury last year, won 2 majors the year prior. I mean, he played very well this week. I think he finished like top 10. I mean, the quality of play on the PGA Tour is supreme, and it's only going to get better because they're going to get DeChambeau and Rahm back.
Yeah.
And they're going to get whoever else from that tour that they decide to take back. But, I mean, golf is in such an outstanding place, and you would have never dreamed it
Yeah,
4 years ago.
That's a great point because it looked split and it never felt divisive. It never felt split. Really good take. And I agree with you. And we've been talking about it. Golf's as electric as it's been. So we'll certainly talk about that. We're going to talk about the ball, Coach Steve Spurrier, a little bit. We'll talk about Ruben Chinyelu and what happens with him and who's coming back. You're seeing commitments left and right to the portal or from the portal. We'll certainly talk about that. But it's the NFL week today, or this week. It is draft week. What does the draft mean to the NFL? What might the Jags do? I want you to weigh in, Hayes, on the trade that came down Friday. Mason Smith for Rook O'Rororo. How does that affect the Jaguars? And I want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I think it's a massive problem for C.J. Stroud is what I think.
So we'll certainly talk about that.
We have a Jaguars press release as well.
Yeah.
What an opening segment on the Frangie show for a Monday.
Yeah,
we hear from Florida basketball.
Yeah.
We just heard from the Jaguars. Again, Ryan O'Halloran reported this a couple months ago, but now it's official. The Jaguars have exercised fifth-year option on offensive tackle Anton Harrison.
Yeah, so there you go. So a lot of Jags news. And the Jags met with the media today. Liam did, and Trevor and Josh Hines Allen to talk about the offseason program and the energy they have. So all kind of Jags. Well, let's start with the Jaguars. We often do that in a moment. But after the break, there's a little bit of show news that I want to report. So we'll talk a little bit about the show and some news involving our radio show. We'll talk about that when we come back from the break. We'll talk about the Jags. We'll talk about the trade and a whole lot more. It is draft week, and draft week is one of the fun weeks of the year. Even in a year like this, where the top of the draft is exciting for us, and I'm glad it's not, because we've had enough who they'd taken at 5 overall. I hope we're done with 1 overall, 2 overall, 5 overall, 7 overall for a while, and hopefully we are. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hi, I'm William Byron.
And the Daytona 500 goes to William Byron.
1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Strength, speed, swagger, and most importantly, he moves the chains. 1010XL's draft coverage is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors, and Fleming Island Center for Clinical Research. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Best Bet is number 1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Attention men and women, if you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee. My wife and I and a bunch of friends just got back from the farm, and we had an incredible experience. We toured the regenerative farm, as well as the beautiful handcrafted cabins, and were treated to a fantastic farm-to-table dinner created by Congreve and Penn. Man, was it good. Well, you can learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com. And even hear my interview with farm co-founder Doug Davis to learn even more about this amazing property. That's OKEfarm.com.
Jacksonville, your refund just hit. Don't let it vanish on bills. Superior Fence and Rail doubles it. Match up to $250 on 100 feet or more. Picture this. One-day install transforms your yard into a private oasis with a quality that turns heads. From check to fenced paradise, faster than you think. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Hey, it's Matt Hayes with an opportunity again this year, just in case you haven't taken advantage of it in the past. Take the opportunity to drop 40 pounds by the 4th with a Waco 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? To make it easier, a Waco 180 has lost Reclaim by a Waco 180. Reclaim is a simple 10-week plan designed to help you reach your weight and health goals. A beginning and an end and a real finish line. It just makes more sense. I dropped my 40 within 10 weeks, and like I always tell you, it was easy. Reclaim by Awake 180 arrives at the perfect time for you to reach your 40 by the 4th and then keep it off with free support for life. Any medication, diet, or workout plan will say you'll see the results. But how many will say in 10 weeks you'll be a new version of yourself, thanking the old you for making that call to Awake 180? 40 by the 4th isn't just a slogan. It's an opportunity to succeed with Reclaim by Awake 180. Only at Awake180weightloss.com.
XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We thank our friends from the Best Bet. My buddy Jamie Shelton was around, got to play golf with Jamie over the past week. What a good dude he is. I want to remind you, next week at Best Bet St. Augustine, $80 no-limit Hold'em satellites start for the single-day stack tournament on May 3rd. That's St. Augustine's Best Bet location. It's on 95, or just off of 95. And then the Orange Park location, of course, is on US 17. And the Jacksonville location, the beautiful location, is on Monument Road. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. Quick little bit of a show news that I wanted to share. Starting May 15th, I'm bailing on you on Fridays.
Hey,
I'm out.
I understand.
This will be
enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not going to work Fridays anymore. After May 8th will be my last Friday. I'm not retiring. I'm not going anywhere. You're still stuck with me Monday through Thursday for a while. But I've done about 38 years of Fridays, and it's going to give Suzanne and I a chance to get some 3-day weekends that we haven't had in the past. We'll still have our vacations, of course, and play a little golf and whatnot. But so I will not be doing the radio show on Fridays, starting with Friday, May 15th. And
well, congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That is awesome.
And again, I don't want to misrepresent it as just some kind of a retirement. It's not. Like I said, everything else stays the same. Jaguars stay the same. Walk-off charity stays the same. Monday through Thursday stay the same.
I'm congratulating you because by not working Fridays, you've become my idol. So I figured that's worthy of congratulations.
And congratulate me on the fact that I'm going to be drinking heavily every Thursday. Okay. Thursday night will be a big drinking night.
Yeah.
You call Marcel. Is Frank around? No, probably not. But anyway, so I'm not going to be working Fridays. Moving forward for the remainder of however long, but again, it is not a retirement. I don't want to misrepresent it as such, but that's part of the news. The other news is tell us about kind of how we're reconfiguring Fridays a little bit.
Yeah, I really appreciate Steve Griffin's vision and trust. Myself and Ryan O'Halloran, and of course, JJ will be launching a new show called The Lead from 4 to 6. So, we're really excited about it. And obviously it's going to remain the same theme. It's always the Frangie Show magic has always been it feels like friends around a bar top, talking sports, friends around a barbecue, you're around the grill, grilling out, talking sports, and that vibe's going to remain the same. We want it to be funny, informative, all the things that our listeners have come to expect under your tutelage. So really excited about it. Ryan O'Halloran is a superstar, and I think a lot of people have become familiar with his work. Obviously, he's probably. I've been in the newspaper. I'm not in the newspaper business now, and haven't been since I came here in 2017. But I've been in this market, and I started in the newspaper industry. And I would say, over the 25 years that I've either been in the newspaper industry in Jacksonville, or certainly been paying close attention to it as an alum, let's say, I think he's the best one that we've had. In terms of beat guy, obviously he's done a great job as a columnist, and I'm really close friends with him too. So I mean, but he has just done such a spectacular job. And I think he's going to be fantastic in the role. So really excited to work with Ryan. And obviously you hear him a lot now. He was on with you last week, and you guys did a great job. But yeah, really fired up about it, and appreciate the confidence that Steve Griffin has given us.
You do a great job hosting that show,
Thanks.
too. So I think that's a big part of it, too. You're driving it and directing it. I'll say this about Ryan, and I really believe this. Ryan O'Halloran, since he got back here, and probably before, but he wasn't a columnist before, so it was all Jaguar stuff. I don't know that any of us in our industry get to the stuff he gets to. I mean, if you think about this, real honest to God, he's at most of the Jaguar road games, all the home games. You look up, he's covering JU UNF.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him on both campuses doing one-on-ones with both basketball coaches, both the JU and the UNF basketball coach. He was at the high school state tournament that was here. He was in Tallahassee talking to Luke Laux, the basketball coach there, trying to get in front of Norvell. That's just harder to do these days. He's been in Gainesville with one-on-ones with both Todd Golden and John Sumrall. I don't know that any of us in our industry, and we have a lot of people that are pretty good in our industry, have gone to Tallahassee to talk to both coaches, if possible. It's already a great sit-down with Luke Laux. Has been to Gainesville to talk to Sumrall and of course, Todd Golden. Has covered high school and written about high school events, was at the Players every day. Now, a lot of us did that, and has had really good Jaguar coverage. So, and which is, by the way, his hallmark. So Ryan does a great job. It was great having him in here. He and Hacker both did a great job last week. And,
Absolutely.
And JJ did his normal terrific job, so it was fun last week. So, but anyway, I look forward to it. I won't be here Friday starting May 15th, but you guys will crush it. I can't wait. And in the fall, the Football Friday will be you and Ryan and add Rick Ballou.
Yes,
how about that? And Rick
From
Ballou,
4 to 7.
And Rick Ballou's nobody's add-on, by the way.
That's right.
And Rick Ballou's like you build around Rick Ballou is what you do. But you, Rick, and Ryan will do a 4 to 7 show every Friday in football season. So
Can't wait.
Yeah, so that'll really be fun. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming for you on Fridays, and I just wanted to share that. And again, it's not a retirement. It's just a little change in the schedule, and I am excited about that. I've done it for a long time, and so I'm looking forward to that.
It's well deserved.
I appreciate that. Let's the news that came down Friday. Let's get to Friday first. Ryan and I talked about it a little bit. At the end of the day, when you have a player who was drafted high and it just never happened, right? And I think you could make the same comment about Ororo in Atlanta. Mason Smith and Rook Ororo are different kind of players, but they play the same position. Ororo was known as a little better pass rusher. He had 30 pressures. He had 3.5 sacks. Mason Smith never moved the needle. And I think we all agree that pass rush from the interior is an area where the Jags have to get better. So maybe a move that could really pay off. How did you see it?
Yeah, obviously I listened to you guys talking about it, and I thought you guys hit the nail on the head, as did the other shows. I mean, it's a change of scenery trade. I mean, that's Kevin Stefanski's arrived in Atlanta, and they're probably doing new things. That's usually what happens when a staff gets fired is, you bring in new ideas and, players that the former administration liked. Sometimes it's even, look at Josh Oliver. Sometimes it works against you as a club. Sometimes you're too eager to get rid of guys. Urban Meyer and Trent Baalke show up and cut Josh Oliver, and no one really thought anything of it. But I'm not kidding you. They cut him within like 48 hours of taking the job. It's like, don't you at least want to see this guy in practice a couple times? Cut him. I think I'm pretty sure he's still in the league. I mean, his name would pop up every so often last year. He'd catch a touchdown here or there, and that's been 5 or 6 years ago. So sometimes it can work to your detriment. And I think in this case, if it's working to anyone's detriment, it's the Falcons' detriment. Now, my guess is we're going to be in November, and neither Mason Smith or Rook Row have made much of an impact. Usually these trades, you get excited about them because there's not much going on, and then you get 6 months, a year removed, and you found that they're both sort of just what they are. But if one of these players does ascend, I think it makes more sense that it will be a Ororo over Mason Smith.
Well, and knowing our personnel way better, the Jaguar personnel way better than the Falcons personnel, the one key thing the Jaguars have to do better is rush the passer. And I like the two edge players. Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker are good players, but they've got to get some help in the interior. I heard I was on with Heath Klein in Atlanta Saturday because he covers the Falcons, and he asked me thoughts about that, and they liked the row. Wasn't a great run defender as the book on him. Well, Matt Dickerson, who plays the 3 technique, is a pretty damn good run defender at that spot. He's not a great pass rusher, so there's a little bit of a mix, I think, and I think that was my take on Friday, and I think you'll see this. So we'll see. Remember, that was a position they needed to get better. With all due respect to Mason Smith, and I appreciate what Liam Cohen said about him today. He said, listen, he did everything we asked. He tried. This wasn't a lazy guy. This wasn't a guy that wasn't getting after it. This guy got after it as best he could. He really tried. The reality is, it never happened for him, regardless whose fault it was. But it wasn't some lazy guy that was missing meetings and not working hard and not staying late. That wasn't the case with Mason Smith, and I kind of like the fact that Liam Cohen made sure people knew that today. That was kind of cool. But it never happened for him, and it didn't look like it was going to happen. Let's be honest. It didn't look like it was going to happen, so maybe a little new scenery helps him out. So we'll see what happens. We'll certainly talk about it. Which brings us to draft week. Quiet draft week around here. What are your expectations for the Jacksonville Jaguars Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? I don't sense they're moving up to the first round, so I think Thursday's kind of off the table.
I would be. I'm almost to. I will be your butler for a month if the Jags move into the first round. But I don't. I'm not making that wager yet.
Yeah, because I wouldn't make that wager because in the off chance it happens, I wouldn't be a very good butler. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm just getting around to the second coat of wax now, Mr. Frangie.
But I do sense, Hayes, that they're going to be active Friday. I get the hunch there's going to be activity. It's not just going to be 56 and then the 3 third-round picks. I get the sense because James Gladstone always does this, that we're going to go, wow, they did that. Do you sense that?
Well, I'll say this. It's interesting you bring that up because I don't think James Gladstone, and I'm not suggesting this, but he doesn't need to buy into that. This whole riverboat gambler, I've got to come up with something that shocks the fans. And he doesn't strike me as that, but it is out there that, that's the reputation. And that can get you into some mistakes from a personnel standpoint. I think it's quiet. I think he probably stays put. I could see moving from 56 maybe to 48, but that's certainly not a blockbuster trade. Just because I still think they've got to take a defensive tackle. They may be really excited about a row, but to me, that's not enough. I mean, you've got, and even if you like them, talk about a position. You've already done a pretty good job of building a surplus along the offensive line. Look at Seattle. I mean, Seattle just dominated the NFL last year, not because of Sam Darnold. Now, a pretty good bit was Jackson Smith and Jigba, but it was their defensive front was unblockable. And they were fresh. They were deep. So I still think they're going to go defensive tackle at 56, barring, just some unbelievable fortune of luck of a guy falling. And I do think they could move up because anywhere you look, the defensive tackle board just simply gets decimated if you wait. If you wait until pick 81, it does not appear like there's much to get excited about. So, I'd go defensive tackle at 56. I'd go probably edge at 81 and take advantage of the glut of talent there. I'd take a tight end at 88 because I really do think that they want to incorporate more of that look, multiple tight ends that can do great things. And I would expect that to be a move tight end. Brenton Strange is not a move tight end. Brenton Strange is an old school. He can do it all. So you don't really need, and it's really hard to find, a guy like Brenton Strange in this day and age that can do both.
And by the way, not to interrupt you, but they kind of like Quentin Morris as an inline tight end.
Right.
He's a good blocker. I mean, he's got a place on the team. The move tight end, didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's to your point, that's what they don't really have is who's a clear move tight end.
Right. And so I think that makes a lot of sense. And then I think you go at 100, it's probably just best player available. But, if everything's even, maybe you take a corner there. Something like that. So I think it'll be defensive heavy on Friday. I do think that they'll make 4 selections. They could trade up from 56 if they do that. I think they're probably only going to part with the 4th round pick. So again, we're talking about moving up 56 to 49, 56 to 52, something in that range. I don't think it's anything stunning, but I think they're very well positioned. And I think then on day 3 is when you're going to see them try to get as much 27 draft capital as they can. Can they trade a 5th this year for a 4th next year? Now, everybody believes the 27 draft is better, so some clubs may be reluctant to do that. But there are teams that don't have a lot of picks. I mean, the Jaguars have 11. There's some teams that only have 4 or 5, so they may be more open to that kind of a scenario. But I will be surprised if they draft 11 guys, but I think those kind of trades are going to occur more on Saturday than they will Friday.
I will say this too, Hayes, is when you get to what the needs are, you hit them. Defensive tackle, another edge, a tight end, some secondary help, perhaps maybe a weak side linebacker. Those are the need components, as we all know. But I will say this, and I do believe this. I over the years, I've gotten a chuckle when teams will talk about best player available and value over need, and I never really bought it. Because if you don't have a tight end and the draft is around, you go get a tight end. So I've always thought the whole value over need thing was mostly comical for all teams. But I'll say this: the Jags are one team now that have positioned themselves in such a way, and I say that after watching all the drafts all these years, that I do think they have put themselves in a position where they really can take the best player. I really believe. Whether we'll see how it plays out, but there's not one spot, there's not one position where, oh my God, if they don't get a guy there, they're in trouble. I believe that. Again, that doesn't mean there's not some areas you can get better, but I don't think there's a spot where it's dire. I really don't. So I think they've positioned. So I think keep an eye on that best player available thing, and all of a sudden, if you look up and there's a wide receiver that goes early on Friday, and you go, wait a minute, they got their 3. Well, I think they're positioned for that. So we'll see what winds up happening. But it's going to be a fun week of the draft. Certainly a fun draft. We'll talk more about that. We'll give you kind of our programming lineup as we go in a bit. We'll take a break. I want to stay on the NFL a little bit. Expectations around the league. Who will be active? Who will not? And I want to talk a little bit about the buzz of the draft. What a week this has become for the NFL. That and more when we continue. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory-backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship-level service as a brand-new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
It's 420, so I'll be blunt. If you're in a car accident, it can be a major buzzkill. Whether it's a joint, injury, or chronic pain, your representation shouldn't be half-baked. At Woolsey Morecambe, we put the lit in litigation. Roll up strong cases and weed out the defenses. Keep your future high and don't get burned by the insurance companies. We'd love to hear from you. Woolsey Morecambe, offices Jacksonville. Highly experienced, bluntly honest. Call us at 1-800-WOOL-SEY.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Top salespeople don't rely on talent. They follow a system. At Sandler Sales Jacksonville Boot Camp, you'll learn how to control conversations, handle objections, and close with confidence. Matt Rocco with Sandler Sales here. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to increase performance or that of your team. Call 904-646-1900. That's 904-646-1900 to reserve your seat today.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods. San Marco, Avondale are the shops of Ponte Vedra.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the duckduckrooter.com. This week, more than maybe any other week, shows the greatness and the power of the NFL. For those that missed it, there hasn't been an NFL game in about 3.5 months. For those that aren't paying attention, there won't be an NFL game for about another 5 months. Yet everybody will be talking about the NFL all week long. The NFL will be on TV Thursday night from Pittsburgh this year, and you'll see bells and whistles and fireworks and bands and cheerleaders and fans and hundreds of thousands of people setting up around wherever they do it from. It's one of the most amazing paradigms in sports, in my opinion, Hayes. The fact that the NFL can take a day where nobody's playing a game, nobody's blocking, nobody's tackling, nobody's running a down and out, and hasn't for 3 months and won't for another 5 months, and somehow turns it into the biggest day in sports that week, maybe as biggest day in sports as there is this month, other than the Final Four and the Masters Sunday. That's the magic. It's incredible. If you really think about it, it's incredible what the NFL has created, the king that it is, and that's the 10-10 Take.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I was curious to see how this week would play out because it's a weak draft. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's one of the worst drafts that we've seen, particularly at the top, in quite some time. At least that's how it appears. Now, we may get 4 years down the road, and maybe that'll be a draft that surprises us. But so I was curious to see how much excitement there would be for it. But it's Monday afternoon and you're already starting to kind of feel it radiate. So yeah, I think by the time you get to Thursday night, everybody is going to be really, really excited to see how it plays out. And, it's interesting from our perspective because it's not just that the Jaguars don't have a first round pick. It's that, the Titans will make an interesting choice high. But the Colts don't have a first rounder either. So it just seems for like the AFC South in general, like not much is going to change Thursday night in all likelihood. But yeah, I mean, to your point, I'm sure the ratings they might be a little down, but I'm sure that they'll still be outstanding compared to any non-competitive event that any other professional organization televises throughout the year.
It might have better ratings than NBA playoff games that same night. I would be shocked if it didn't.
Over the years, it has. The years, it has blown away active games in the NBA, the NHL, regular season in Major League Hockey. In Major League Baseball. It's amazing. Honest to God, it's amazing. And I'll tell you, that's almost also the magic in the early 90s when the NFL went to free agency. The NFL never had free agency until the 90s. But once they did, they're never not in the news. And it's truly an amazing spectacle. I mean, I can tell you, even this year, to your point, Hayes, when it's not a great draft, when the Jags don't have a first-round draft pick, when the Jags don't have any truly appreciable needs, at least at the highest level. They may have some needs for depth in a couple of positions here and there. You woke up kind of excited this week, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we all did. I think that's what's amazing. You woke up kind of excited about – we're all excited about Thursday night, and the Jags don't have a pick. I mean, that's what's the amazing thing about the NFL draft, and I give the league credit. I don't know what it is. Is it the fantasy element because so many people are involved? That's part of it. Is it the fact that it's we just love the sport at every level? I mean, listen. I played high school baseball, and we've all watched high school basketball, but there's nothing like Friday Night Lights. Okay, there's nothing. I love the NCAA basketball tournament, the Final Four, and one day I'm going to get to Omaha. I've never been to that yet. But there's nothing like college football Saturday, JJ, on September 12th. Okay, there's nothing about the third Saturday in October when Alabama and Tennessee are playing. There's nothing like that. So part of it's the sport, but I think it's also the amazing job the NFL's done is staying on the cusp of that excitement every year.
Without a doubt. Well, it's the perfect blend of the two most popular sports in our country, which is the NFL and college football.
Yeah.
And so
that's right.
It's the one night where they really do merge together to form this sports entertainment 4 hours programming.
Yeah, because I'm excited to watch my Canes get drafted.
Absolutely. And, I can't wait to see where Jake Slaughter goes. But in reality, if you're an Ohio State fan, I mean, what a great night Thursday night's going to be for you. Not that your program really needs the shot in the arm, but they may have 4 of the first, 6 picks. Obviously, if you're an Indiana fan and is a long-suffering Hoosiers football fan, I mean, this is another night where for you to soak up the fact that you are the undefeated national champion with the Heisman Trophy winner, and now you've got the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, it's so for the college fan out there, it is a chance to reminisce about the players that you love that brought you so many good times. And obviously, from an NFL standpoint, it's not just what does your club do, it's what do the clubs in your division do, what do the clubs do in your conference. Obviously now we're paying a lot of attention to what do the Bills do, what do the Ravens and the Chiefs and Chargers and Broncos, what do those clubs do, what do the Patriots do, because you feel like those are the teams you're battling with to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. So it's certainly a wonderful event. While the combine, I think, is fading away, I don't think the NFL draft is. And wait till you see next year. The 27 draft has the chance to be one of the most spectacular that we've ever seen. And I can't imagine the excitement that every market will have.
Where is it next year? Do we know?
I'm sure they know. I don't know.
Yeah,
is it? I don't know, actually.
It was Green Bay last year, Pittsburgh
Right.
this year, Nashville the year before, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure they've decided about it. It's going to go everywhere. One day it'll be here, by the way. I think when the Stadium of the Future is built and the river.
Washington, D.C.
It is Washington. But I think I don't know that the Super Bowl will ever be back. But I believe the draft. Do you agree? I think the draft will be here. When they get that area developed.
The draft is realistic,
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, I still think you're talking about mid-2030s.
Maybe a while, yeah.
Yeah, probably before. But I'd say it's a realistic goal, whereas I would not say the Super Bowl is for the next 20 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think it's
So they're going to have it in the National Mall right in front of the Capitol, which
that'll
would be sick.
It'll be crazy. It'll be absolutely crazy. You're exactly right. Let's take a break. Do you remember how to do headlines? You good?
If I can read, then we'll be okay. But I'm going to do my best here.
Let me just say this.
You may not be getting the detail per story that you're used to.
Yeah, and
maybe Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals, Frank. What do you think?
Right, and by the way, let me just say this. If you don't like his headlines, go easy on him. He's guy's going with one eye, okay? You got a one-eye guy in here. Go easy on him. Headlines are next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I did not see this one coming. Radio play-by-play is like stepping in a theater in your mind.
As good as it gets.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
You've always known Beard's diamonds are diamonds. But have you heard about our watches?
Beards is proud to introduce a new and exciting selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. If you've tried to find a Rolex these days, you know how hard it is. But Beards has scoured the country to put together an incredible selection of pristine Rolexes, thoroughly inspected and fully authenticated. These are like new Rolexes, all the most popular models, GMT Masters, Submariners, Sky Dwellers, and more. Come in today and check out our new collection of amazing timepieces. And if you have a Rolex to sell or trade, Beards buyers are here with top dollar offers. Beards Diamonds, always looking for new ways to give our customers the finest quality and the guaranteed best value price. Locally owned and operated for more than 4 decades, Beards is your trusted source for fine diamonds, exquisite designer jewelry, stunning engagement rings, and now the finest luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Come find the Rolex of your dreams now. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, Hickett here. Oh, buddy, it's my turn now. TopDressing.com coming to do my lawn, baby. Look, I met with their staff, salt-of-the-earth guys, locally operated right here in Jackson. Heck, I've been troubled just like you by the St. Augustine grass since I've lived here. I can't wait to have their proprietary process go to work for me. I'm chatting with them now to get on the schedule. It's easy, and you can too. You want to truly transform your lawn, look like a golf course, call today for a free estimate, and top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Brooks and Dunn and Blake Shelton are going to rock the country in Ocala this August. For your chance to win weekend passes to the Rock the Country Festival, text COUNTRY to the 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers, and I'm not talking about their cook-to-order, hand-sauced and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about the house-made ranch, so good nobody will blame you if you double dip. I'm talking about Wingstop that delivers straight to your door, and did you know they're open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get flavors delivered right to your door late night only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop.
Hickett here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Feel the power. Hear the legend. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. The look, the sound, the electrifying showmanship of one of rock's greatest bands. One Night of Queen, April 29th at Florida Theater. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frangie, and JJ La Silva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Hopefully you won't need them. Hopefully you don't get injured. But we know that happens in life, and Harrell and Harrell is who you need to call. They will take fantastic care of you. Trust me. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. They have begun the offseason program today. And I will say, I mean, we've talked about this, but boy, they seem to be in a good place right now.
Yeah, and everybody wants to know, or many do, okay, 7, 17, 22, all were good years and they weren't able to replicate it. There have been others. Why is this one different? Well, it's different because it is different. And I understand I'm the guy probably that always says it's going to be great the next year and often is not. But there is an energy. There's a new regime. They won 13 games last year in a coach's first year. There's no sense, barring catastrophic injury problems, there's no reason to believe it. When I agree with you, I think there's great energy. There's great energy in the building. There's great energy around the team. If you do, and I know you do, like I do, have the chance to talk offline with some of the principals, you can tell that the excitement they feel is very real. And so, no, I agree with you. Great energy. It's a team that's in a great place. I really, like you, I really believe that.
Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, and Josh Hines-Allen met with reporters today. We're going to start with Liam Cohen, who talked about the Mason Smith trade for Rook Orororo.
No, it wasn't necessarily anything that didn't. I have a lot of respect for Mason Smith. I hope he has a heck of a career. He did nothing but what we asked him to do from a work ethic standpoint, from doing the right things and what we asked of him. And just we felt like we had an opportunity to potentially get an ascending player that can provide a little bit in the rush. It's hard to find big men that can move like that on the interior part of your defense without giving up in the run game is something we want to continue to be top notch at, which we were in the NFL this past season, but something we want to look at that Rook gives us an opportunity to big man that can move, that can get in the rush plan as well, and showed the ability to get to the quarterback a little bit. So that was something that we felt like was going to fit for us.
Yeah, he does have a good motor. I mean, that the book on him is he hasn't been great against the run, been very good as a pass rusher, but we'll see. That's a book. We'll see if he can play the run. My guess is they wouldn't have gotten him if he can't. But yeah, I think, and I'm glad. I'll say what I said at the top. I'm glad he said what he said about Mason Smith. This wasn't a lazy guy. This wasn't some dog that didn't get there and showed up late. And this wasn't that. This was a guy that tried. He tried and he did what they asked him to. The light didn't come on here. Maybe it comes on for him in Atlanta. And Rook, the light comes on for him here. I say the light comes on. He helps the cause here.
Absolutely. Let's get it to Trevor Lawrence. We were all impressed with how Trevor Lawrence and Jacoby Myers clicked after Myers was acquired right at the trade deadline. Trevor Lawrence talked about what it's going to be like having a full off season with Jacoby Myers.
You know, for him, being able to be here with the guys through a whole off season to get that work, you know, one, me and him, that chemistry to continue to build on that. We had to try to pick it up mid-season, which is a lot of credit to him. He was really easy to get in sync with, and he was super hard worker, so we got it going pretty quickly, but that can be hard to do. So now to have a full offseason together, and I think just the relationship piece to be able to hang out with, you know, his teammates and get to spend time together and, you know, have the weekends and be here and get to know your teammates. I think that's a big piece of it too, and get comfortable where you're living. He moved here in November and just came and played with us, I guess, a few days later in Houston. So it was kind of a crazy quick turnaround. So I think he's probably, you have to ask him, I'm sure he's probably excited to kind of settle in and get this offseason program to really get some good work in, but also get to know his teammates a little bit better.
And Jacoby's a guy, Hayes, that will benefit from everything Trevor just said. You know, some guys, even though they live in the new town, that doesn't mean they'll get out and about. Some guys that even they knew live in the new town doesn't mean they'll take advantage of it and spend time with their teammates or working with the quarterback and the receivers. He will. One of the things they liked about him was all that, was the work and the connectivity and the leadership. And from everything I'm told, we're just getting to know him. But from everything I'm told, Jacoby Myers is that guy in volume. And so all the things Trevor said that Jacoby will have an opportunity to do, Jacoby's the kind of guy that will take advantage of that. I believe that.
Let's get to the defensive side of the ball. Trayvon Walker signed that massive extension a couple of weeks ago. Josh Hines-Allen talked about what Trayvon means to the team.
What he means to the team is, you know, he brings that Georgia football breed line, I guess, you know, of guys that just come in and work, you know, our selfless guys, our team first guys. And he puts on his helmet and comes to work every single day. I got a lot of love and a lot of respect for him, and I know everybody on this team as well, coaches included. Obviously, our front office as well, because they wouldn't have paid him if they didn't. And you know, the funny thing about it too, like, I don't think this isn't going to change him. Like, he's still going to come in and attack the day as if he was, you know, getting drafted again. So, And then what he means to me, man, that's my road dog. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy that, as soon as he came in, we locked in and we became brothers and, and also fierce competitors as well. He pushes me every single day, and I try to do the same thing as well. We want the best for each other, and we want to be the best duo in the National Football League.
If you're paying attention, and I think most of you are, there is something to the fact that all these guys do sort of seem to fit a culture, don't they?
Without a doubt.
I mean, they all fit it. The work ethic, the team first. I know it's cliche, and you hear people like me say it all the time, but this group fits that. This group fits the culture is real, and that's one of the reasons you win 13 games a year ago.
Let's get to around the NFL. The Giants have traded star defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals for the 10th pick in Thursday's draft, since he gave Lawrence a one-year, $28 million extension.
Well, the part of that story that surprised me is not that they went and got him, is that he's going to play two ways and also play right guard. Who's protecting Burrow? I think it's great that you go get a defensive player, right? But if your quarterback's hurt in week 4...
And again, at pick 10, you're talking about a really good tackle prospect that you're passing on.
Yeah, I just...
that's a position that's got a lot of guys going in the first round.
Yeah, that surprised me. Now, look, you have to get better defensively. They have to get more physical defensively. They extended him another year, so they've got him under contract for 3 more years. He'll make their defense better. But, boys, you better protect the quarterback. I'll say that.
Yeah, without a doubt. The 49ers know that. They have a deal with left tackle Trent Williams in place, keeping the standout on a 2-year, $50 million deal.
He's been as good a left tackle as there's been in the league for a volume of years.
Yeah, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right. There might be a year or two where he wasn't the best left tackle in the league. He might have been third, but as far as volume, absolute first ballot Hall of Famer. As far as volume of years, Hayes, Trent Williams has been about as good a left tackle as there's been in a long time.
Without a doubt. Let's get to the PGA Tour. Matthew Fitzpatrick bests Scotty Scheffler in a playoff in Hilton Head to win $3.6 million.
Yeah, he had a 4-shot lead going to the back 9, and then Scheffler. Here comes Scheffler. Scheffler tracked him down, caught him. Fitzpatrick certainly would tell you it wasn't his best on 18. The pressure might have gotten to him a little bit, chunked a shot. That left him with about a 22-footer for par. He missed it in the playoff. And at that point, I just waited to see them hand that goofy-looking plaid jacket to Scheffler. And then Fitzpatrick hit a 4-iron for the ages to 13 feet and made the putt. So give him credit. That was a great tournament.
Absolutely. The NBA playoffs are underway. The Magic stunned the Pistons 112-101. Fluke, or does Orlando have a chance here?
Well, hey, JJ, I've got a friend. My friend Ryan Green. Do you know Ryan?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. And he told me the Magic had no chance.
He did.
And so my friend Ryan is probably very excited about that.
I'm sure. I think that the Pistons are like one of the fakest 1 seeds I've ever seen. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Magic, get at least 2 wins out of this. I think I would be a little surprised if they ended up winning the series after how terrible they were the last 2 months of the year, but they play great defense, man, and that's what they showed the entire game. They never trailed in the entire game.
Yeah, an 8 beating a 1 in a series is unlikely, but hey, up 1 is up 1, right?
And we saw an 8 seed in the East a few years ago go to the finals in the Heat, so it's not unheard of in basketball.
Very good point. In Major League Baseball, how about those Atlanta Braves? 15-7 with a 5-game lead in the NL East.
And the 3-game sweep of their biggest rivals, I think, in the National League East this weekend in the Philadelphia Phillies, who I picked to go to the World Series, and they just look old and they can't hit. It's kind of weird what's happened to the Phillies. I expect them to be good, but I don't with the Mets. They look absolutely atrocious in the National League East. They've lost 11 straight. So the Braves look kind of in control for being this early in the year.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised they won the first 2 Hayes with Maddox and Glavine going. I was surprised Steve Avery won the 3rd game on Sunday. But, no, the Braves are good. The Braves are good. I mean, by the way, Acuna and Austin Riley and Matt Olson, they haven't gone anywhere, okay?
Riley finally started to hit. He had 3 homers during this 5-game
Yeah,
streak.
I mean, if you look, the Braves lineup, when they're right, they haven't gone anywhere. They've done a great. You made this point 2 or 3 years ago on our program of how they signed everybody to long-term deals. But they're still good players, and so no, the Braves are very good. The Phillies will be. The Phillies will be back. The Phillies aren't dead. I agree with you. They looked old in this series, and that division. If the Braves run and hide, would surprise me a little because it's been a good division.
Me too.
It's a long year. But the Braves playing very well, no question.
Absolutely. Let's get it to soccer. JJ, tell us about your podcast.
Yes, it was actually a huge soccer weekend. Arsenal Man City. We talked about that today. It should be out in a matter of minutes on 1010XL's YouTube page. So
what's the name of it?
Yeah, it's called 1010XL Soccer Show.
Love it.
Simple. They gave me an intro. It's awesome. It's official now.
That's great.
So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's every Monday. It's on YouTube. It's on our app. So give it a listen. Tell me what you think.
JJ's a terrific broadcaster, knows soccer. So if you love soccer, shame on you if you don't check it out.
Yes, and we will get you out with today's musical nugget. Today we celebrate the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 this week. Back in 1980, it's Blondie taking the prize with Call Me. The song would enjoy a 6-week run atop the charts. Blondie has sold over 40 million albums and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006.
If you said your head's not bopping and your toes not tapping this song, you're lying, right?
It's magnificent.
It's a great song. I mean, it's
and it holds up fantastic.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Well done.
Thank you.
Hour 2 is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
There was a time when the hard-working people of Jacksonville needed something to look forward to.
Let the games begin!
1010XL. We didn't invent sports, just sports radio.
Owning a house is kind of like being in an argument with your house. One day, it's the AC saying, I'm tired. The next day, it's the plumbing going, good luck finding that leak. Then the septic system joins the conversation. And nobody likes what it has to say. That's when you call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. One team that handles all three, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So the next time your house tries to win the argument, call Duck Duck Rooter. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
ACM and CMA Award winner, Hardy. That's my favorite country song. The Country Tour. I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed. April 23rd, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena with Mitchell Tenpenny. And McCoy Moore. Hardy Live. You got it good. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Hardy 2026.
Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coyle Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher. I hear Coyle also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coyle Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Slacker here with an opportunity. Drop 40 pounds by the 4th. You can do it. I dropped my first 40 in 6 weeks. Hayes did it. Dempsey, Amber, and thousands of others have done it. 40 by the 4th. Awaken. 180weightloss.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate chess man.
At most companies, people start on the ground floor and work their way up to the corner office. At Checkmate, I started on the ground floor, and almost 20 years in, that's still where I am, making ground floors look awesome, one garage at a time.
Well, I started as a pawn and worked my way up to king.
No, you didn't. Some guy drew you as a king. I asked them to give you a roller, so at least you look like one of the guys.
Yes, I rather would have preferred a sword.
At Checkmate, I work personally with our teams to perfect the preparation and application techniques that make Checkmate floors beautiful and durable.
And I keep things classy with my adorable accent.
Beautiful floors?
Check. Guaranteed to last?
Check. The finishing touch your home deserves? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Jacksonville Dolphins men's lacrosse team put on a clinic on Saturday's victory over Bellarmine with a 27-7 win, setting the school's single-game scoring record. The Dolphins advanced to 8-5 on the year, and Jack Taylor's magical season continues as he tallied 8 points, 4 goals, and 4 assists in the victory. It's 71 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Hey, folks, save the date. May 2nd is the start of all those Triple Crown races. We'll watch and wager at all Best Bet locations on the Kentucky Derby. That means Jacksonville on Monument. It means St. Augustine, just off of I-95 in the Orange Park location on US 17. The Best Bet. Have a big time. Watch the Kentucky Derby and a whole lot more at the Best Bet. The ball coach turned 81. Can you believe it?
That's hard to believe.
Steve Spurrier took the Florida job on New Year's Eve of 1989 when he was 44 years old. I remember, man, they got a young coach here. He looks young. He is young. He's got all his hair. He's got that swagger about him. Maybe I'm getting old. No, let me stop that. I am getting old. But gosh, it seems like yesterday that he was on that podium. I've told this story many times that I was working for the Times Union, doing radio on the side, but working for the Times Union. I had covered the Freedom Bowl. Florida was playing Washington and backup quarterback Mark Brunell, who came in at the end of the game. Washington beat Florida 31-7, but we got word the day before the game that Florida was going to announce Spurrier as the coach on New Year's Eve. The game was played on the 30th. So I had this awful cold. I mean, I felt awful. Flew on the red eye, got back in time. It got back at whatever, early in the morning, took a shower in my apartment, drove to Gainesville, and sick as a dog, watched this guy, Steve Spurrier, talk about how he was going to win at Florida. And so help me, I was convinced every time I heard it that this guy was going to win at Florida. He said, we're getting rid of the artificial turf. He said, we're playing on grass. He said, we need to start playing Miami every year. Now, that got washed away because they went to the conference expanded. But you can't beat them if you don't play them every year. And we need to start beating Georgia. At the time, Georgia had won, I want to say, 11 of the last 14, something like that. And 89, about and 4 in a row, right? So 3 in a row, something like that. But Georgia was wearing them out. He said, it's time we start beating Georgia. The game's played in a stadium called the Gator Bowl. It's an hour drive for us. They've got to get on a plane and fly down. How are they beating us every year? And he proceeded to beat Georgia 11 out of 12 times after making that comment, and quite frankly, blew them out most of those years. I've got all kind of Steve Spurrier stories, but it's hard to believe the ball coach is 81 years old today. And probably some of the most enjoyable times of my life was covering the Spurrier Gators.
I'll start with a story from before he was hired. The first Florida-Georgia game I went to, it would have been that year, so I would have been, I guess, 13, and went with my dad. And, you're a little kid, and I was really excited to go with my dad. That was sort of that didn't happen all that often. And so I'm super fired up. And I knew how much my dad hated Georgia. So, at that age, I didn't have a really good feel for who should win the game or anything like that. But I'm hoping, obviously, Florida wins the game. Well, Georgia wins the game, and I think they won it fairly comfortably. I think they ran all over Florida. And so my dad and I are leaving the Gator Bowl, and we're in the concourse, and the Georgia fans around us start chanting, "It's great to be a Gator hater," and I just lose it. I mean, lose it. I'm bawling. Like the moment is hitting me. Like here, my dad took me to the Florida Georgia game finally, and they didn't play well, and I know he's upset, even though he's doing a good job of masking it, and he probably knew. But it's too much for me. I'm just bawling my eyes out walking out of the Gator Bowl, and he puts his arm around me and he says, "Son, our program's savior is coming, and these days are getting ready to be over." And it really lifted my spirits. Of course, I had no idea who Steve Spurrier was, and so then that led to Spurrier coaches his first game with the Gators against Oklahoma State, and we go. And I'm obviously super excited. And the vibe, what I sort of remember is that you kind of didn't really know what to expect. Like Oklahoma State, I think had just lost Barry Sanders, but was a pretty respectable team. And so there was some talk, I kind of remember, that you didn't really know. Like it wasn't like a cupcake game.
Right.
Florida goes right down the field. Matthews throws a touchdown to, I think, Dexter McNabb, the fullback.
He actually ran it in.
Or runs it in.
Yeah,
for the first touchdown.
Yeah.
And you look up an hour later, it's like 50-7.
That was the score.
And everybody was just, the euphoria around us in the swamp. I mean, because no one could believe what they were watching, how explosive the offense that would go on to be, the fun and gun was. And so I'll just start there. I mean, obviously there's a litany of stories, but I'll just start with, from my fans' perspective, the genesis of Spurrier arriving into my sports universe.
Yeah, I will tell you, people ask favorite Spurrier games. Where do you start? 52-20 over FSU. My favorite game, I've told you before, is the 95 game, Tennessee, when Florida scored 48 points in a row, down 30-14. 48 in a row.
I was in the student section that night.
162-37. That's still my favorite game.
That was unbelievable. We got drenched.
48 points in a row.
Fantastic.
Winning at Georgia in 95 when Lawson Holland said, told the ball coach, no one's ever hung half 100 on him up here. Next thing you know, Eric Kresser's throwing one in the corner of the end zone late. And they won. That was awesome.
And then he admits it after the game. It's so great.
Yeah. One thing he said to the media, told the story about how Lawson Holland told him that, so he threw it. And he came to me. He told me afterwards, Frank, I know those Georgia fans didn't want me to throw that last touchdown. He said, but I work for the Gators. I can remember that like it was yesterday. So there have been so many games. One of my favorite games was the second game ever was at Alabama. They had blown out Oklahoma State 50-7. They're playing at Alabama. And nobody thought they could beat Alabama. And they won 17-13 in a big game. Will White had the 3 interceptions. Oh, yeah. So that one stands out in my mind. I really love, I got to drink beer with Spurrier a lot. I got to know him really well. I got to hang out at his house. I got to hang out at Nappy's, a little sports bar, a little pizza place right behind his house many, many times. Back then you could go to practice. You got to know him. You got to know the staff. It was covering sports a different way. My favorite Spurrier story I love to tell, though, is the day he got mad at me. You've probably heard the story. I've told it many times, but I'll tell it again. He wasn't mad at me very often, and he didn't stay mad at me very long. But in 94, maybe it was, the year they won the whole thing, might have been before that. It was one of those years. He had said that he spoke to the Gator Club in Jacksonville, the Gator Gallop, Gator Growl, what they call it. Not the Gator Growl, what do they call it here? The Gator Gathering. That's what the Gator Growl is in, the Gator Gathering. So I was a sports writer covering stuff, so it had to be before that. It had to be in the early 90s. Anyway, I was a sports writer covering something. I wasn't there, so I had a stringer there that sent me a quote that said, "This is the year we're going to get them all." So I wrote a story in the Times Union. So I left the Times Union in 93, so maybe it was 92. Anyway, I wrote a story with that quote in it. And it's sent to the second edition. Well, the second edition goes to Crescent Beach, where he was staying in Gainesville, and then the last edition goes to Jacksonville. Well, then I heard the tape, and it's not what he said. What he said was, if everything goes right, we have a chance. We have a chance in all of them. Well, that's a different conversation. But I had already written, well, I got it changed for the Jacksonville edition. But the Gainesville edition, or the Crescent Beach edition that he heard, he thought I said, we're going to win them all. Well, he was furious. But at the time, there were no cell phones. People didn't usually have cell phones. You had home phones. Well, my number wasn't listed. Okay. So I'm home one day, living in our home in Mandarin, and phone rings. Okay. So I pick it up, and it's Spurrier. And he is giving me the business. You're one. I thought I could count on you. You're just like the rest of the media. You just try to make me look bad. I can't believe you would say that. I can't believe you. And I mean, it's heavy. And I had it wrong. I tried to apologize, but there's no point in talking. You got to let him go. Okay? Let him go. Let him go. I can't believe that. I trusted you. I'll never trust you again. I give you stuff. I give you, and hangs up the phone. And I'm kind of rattled. Okay. And like, wow. Okay. So Suzanne goes, who's that? I said, that was Steve. Man, he was mad. He said, I got that story wrong. And she goes, all right. Huh. I wonder how I got her number. Because it's not listed. And so I go, I don't know. 2 seconds later, my mom calls. My mom's number is listed at Frank M. Frangie in Jacksonville. Because that was my dad's name. He calls, my mom goes, hey, honey. I said, hey, Mom. She goes, guess who I just talked to? I said, who, Mom? She goes, Steve Spurrier. You know what he said? I said, what's that, Mom? He said, he thinks you're such a nice young man. I said, that's great, Mom. He said, he asked for your number. I knew you wouldn't mind if I gave it to him. And that's how Steve Spurrier chewed my ass. And probably 2 weeks later, when he wasn't mad anymore, because we were pretty good buddies, I said, dude, you called my mom. He goes, that was good, wasn't it? That's my Spurrier story. The only time he ever got mad at me, he called my mom, got my number, and chewed my ass. And I can remember that, and we have laughed about it since. But I'm a big fan of Steve Spurrier. I was a fan of watching him play. Watching him play a little bit, watching him coach, watching him play a little bit because my dad was a big fan. I didn't watch a lot of Spurrier. I was too little. I was probably 8 or 7 or 8 when he played. Watching him coach, getting to know him, how honest he was, how real he was. He ticked people off sometimes. That was part of the shtick, I think. But he's still, to this day, the most innovative coach I ever watched coach. To this day, the most innovative football coach of my lifetime, because he did things that nobody thought you could do. I still wonder, would we throw the football in college football the way we do today if Steve Spurrier didn't arrive at Duke in 87 and then later at Florida in 90 and say, we're throwing the dang football. He changed the world of college football. I believe that in all my heart.
Without a doubt. He's also, I think, the pioneer of the get a turnover, take a shot. He always did that. And it's amazing how often it would work. And now it's almost become a cliche. Like now, if a team commits a turnover around either 40-yard line, the announcer almost will always say, look for them to take a shot here.
Right, that's right.
That
that's
is
right.
a Steve
a great
Spurrier tenet of football.
That's a great point, because he was the first that did that. I'll tell you something else he did that I love, because he did things different. You know, the thing in football is 2nd and 1, you take a shot, right? 2nd and 1, you take a shot, because if not, you come back and get it on. You run it on 3rd and 1. 2nd and 1, you take a shot. 2nd and 1, everyone. Well, you followed it close enough to know. You know, he never did that. 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1, you take a shot. 2nd and 1, you take a shot. They'd line up. He'd give it to Eric Rhett. He'd run 4 yards, first down. Then they'd line up quickly and then take the shot. Hey, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else would say 2nd and 1, you take a shot because you can come back and get it on 3rd and 1. He never did that because it's what everybody else did. And I always thought that. Steve Spurrier turns 81 years old today, and he was a fun guy to coach. I think he changed college football. I think he changed Florida's fortunes. Remember now, the University of Florida had been in the SEC for 58 years and had never won the league title. The only other school the only other charter member was Vanderbilt that had never won it. They had never won it in 58 years. He won it 6 of the first 8 years. Think about that for a second. They had never won it. He won it 6 of his first 8 years. Pretty amazing stuff.
Amazing.
Steve Spurrier turns 81 today. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
We saw the games.
A tremendous return. It's first and goal, Jacksonville.
And we love to talk about it.
Really changed the course of the game.
1010XL.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie with big news. Nimnick Chevrolet's done it again. They're named the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 2025. You ready for this? That's 9 times, and still the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win the award. Why? Well, because at Nimnick, it's all about treating you right every time. Experience the difference at NimnickChevy.com. I can tell you this. I've been buying cars from Nimnick since 1982. Started at that Chevrolet store, and I learned how to buy cars, and I've been doing it ever since. So if you want a terrific place to buy cars or trucks, at the Nimnick. In fact, it's Truck Month at Nimnick, and it's bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for everyone on new Chevy Silverados. So it doesn't matter the product. It can be a car, it can be a truck, an SUV, it can be new or used. Nobody does a better job than Nimnick for 3 generations. Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They keep treating you right. They give back to the community. I'm telling you, if you need a car, truck, SUV, new or used, you want to hit the Nimnick. Who does a better job? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, Meta the first basket, free throw, piece.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Find Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
It's 420, so I'll be blunt. If you're in a car accident, it can be a major buzzkill. Whether it's a joint injury or chronic pain, your representation shouldn't be half-baked. At Woolsey Morecambe, we put the lit in litigation. Roll up strong cases and weed out the defenses. Keep your future high and don't get burned by the insurance companies. We'd love to hear from you. Woolsey Morecambe, offices Jacksonville. Highly experienced, bluntly honest. Call us at 1-800-WOOL-SEY.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. They do a fantastic job at 3 locations on the First Coast. Monument Road here in Jacksonville, just off of I-95 in St. Augustine. and US 17 in Orange Park. Weekend winnings are every Friday and Saturday, and they continue all month with $500 high hands in the first 30 minutes and $1,000 high hands the second 30 minutes, and that's at all best bet locations. So head to any of those three, and you'll be awfully glad that you did. It is draft week. Who needs a big draft? Obviously, the bad teams draft early. Can the Texans, Colts, Titans make any moves here? What do they need to do in your mind? You don't have to go team by team, but as you look at the division, because the Jags will be quiet obviously on Thursday night. What about the others?
I worry about the Titans taking advantage of the trenches. I mean, that's what this draft is. It's fantastic offensive line. It's fantastic edge. And I think the smart teams are going to gravitate towards that. I hope Tennessee takes Jeremiah Love. And it's not that I don't think Jeremiah Love isn't going to be a good pro. He probably is going to be a good pro. But that's not going to beat you. It's just not. Like, if the Titans can't block anybody, it doesn't matter what Jeremiah Love is. And so that's really from a Jaguar perspective, because, again, we talked about it. The Colts don't have a first-round pick. The Texans, I think, will try to, beef up their offensive line, as they should. They're a total puzzle in terms of how they've approached their offensive line build really the last two off seasons. And I think it's blown up in their face, and I think it's going to blow up in their face again. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to that route and went offensive line in the first round. But what I would focus on is you don't want to see teams in the division this year draft linemen. So anytime, like, again, if the Titans take Love, I think that's a win for the Jaguars. If the Texans elect to take a receiver, or a defensive back as opposed to an offensive lineman, I think that's a win for the Jaguars. And I'd say really the same thing with the Colts. The Colts, to me, are getting ready to take a fairly substantial step back. I just think they've been treading water for so long in the post-Andrew Luck world, and I think eventually it just runs out, and I think they're getting ready. I think they're like a year from like where Pittsburgh is now, where the Steelers are, I think, really headed towards a market reset with what they're going to be. And the Steelers have done a much better job. They're way better managed. So they've done a better job of staying relevant post Roethlisberger. But I think the Colts are getting ready to bottom out. But having said that, if they go and get, again, they don't have a first rounder because they traded for Sauce Gardner. But if they're able to find, a big time defensive lineman, big time offensive lineman, that's to me where you're going to make your strides in this draft. I don't think the Jaguars need to draft an offensive lineman with one of their first four selections, the second rounder or the 3 third rounders, but you can always make a case for it. I mean, I just think they've done such a wonderful job, the Gladstone, Baselli, Cohen regime, of really stockpiling the offensive line. I think they go 8-9 deep right now without adding a draft pick. So, I would not go offensive line, but I would load up on the defensive line. I would take a defensive tackle at 56. I'd probably take an edge at 81, and I'd feel very good about that if I'm a Jaguar fan, if that's in fact what they do. So I think figure out your trenches. Most teams are going to want to take one on each side very early on. That's where the talent is in this draft. So if you can get away with one of your rivals going receiver, running back, something like that, a defensive back, I think that's a win.
By the way, you talk about linemen in the draft. JJ, obviously Bain, Mesidor, the big offensive lineman, they're going to be, Miami is going to be, going to be very active in the first round.
And I think all three of those guys are going to be really good NFL players.
They play critical positions.
Mesidor, I don't get why he is so underrated.
He keeps dropping, too.
He keeps dropping.
I've seen him at like 40-something.
Is it short arms?
I think he's older. He's like 25.
He would be like the first round pick drafted at that age, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't care. I mean, if he's a great player, I'm still getting year 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 on the 5th-year option.
And if it's a weak draft, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I love
he
the guy.
plays with such a savvy. Bain's fantastic too. But Bain to me is more, even though he doesn't have the amazing traits, he's just a great football player.
Yeah.
Mesidor.
He's got the moves. Mesidor's got all the moves.
That's the thing. Mesidor just plays with such a savvy to his game that I think he's going to be outstanding right out of the gate. And
if you've ever seen him interviewed, he's a really cerebral, like really smart guy too. So and it shows up in his play how he attacks offensive linemen.
What'll be interesting to see is because there's edges are going high, right? I mean,
and there's just so many of them.
Right. I mean, the Texas Tech guy Bailey's going high. The Ohio State guy, because they got somebody at every position. Reese is going high, so it'll be interesting to see.
The Jaguars put out the hunt last week. Late last week. And it's fantastic, as it always is. But there's one really interesting – there's many interesting nuggets, but one in particular for this conversation is you can tell obviously they're talking about this draft. And I think it's Gladstone's top lieutenant, Timmy, that says, well, something to the effect of 16 of these guys are going to go – right. In the first 80, it's something like that. Yeah. But it's clear he's talking about the edge class.
Right.
I mean, there's no other position. Offensive tackle, maybe, but it feels like in the context of what they released that he's talking about the edge class. And so, yeah, I mean, but because there's such a glut, you might have teams that say, well, we'll wait. And we'll circle back to that because we still like 7 guys on our board and we're up in 32 picks. And that's where at 81, I mean, there's a chance at 56 there's an edge that the Jaguars just can't live without. But they're, I think, still so weak is too strong. But I think defensive tackle is still, I think, the weakest spot on the roster that I think they almost have to address it at 56.
And I'd be, again, whether it's 56 or not, it'll be very high in the draft. We'll take a break. More in a moment. This is 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Wherever you go, there we are.
I know. I checked online.
1010XL is on your smartphone and tablet. Download our free app for all devices and take us with you around Duval and around the world.
I'm Julie Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision, so how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you can trust. 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for over 75 years. And now, catch this. Bono's new limited time offer features an Atlantic fried cod platter with 2 pieces of mouth-watering fried cod and 1 southern side for $15.49, or a fried cod sandwich with 1 southern side for $12.99. You can't beat that deal. And after 1 bite, you'll be hooked. So you better hurry in. The fried cod platter right now at Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Homeowners, ready to open your home to spring and shut out high energy bills? It's the 1-month only sale with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, buy one, get one 40% off windows and doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes with an opportunity again this year, just in case you haven't taken advantage of it in the past. Take the opportunity to drop 40 pounds by the 4th with a Waco 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? To make it easier, Awaken 180 has launched Reclaim by Awaken 180. Reclaim is a simple 10-week plan designed to help you reach your weight and health goals. A beginning and an end and a real finish line. It just makes more sense. I dropped my 40 within 10 weeks, and like I always tell you, it was easy. Reclaim by Awaken 180 arrives at the perfect time for you to reach your 40 by the 4th and then keep it off with free support for life. Any medication, diet, or workout plan will say you'll see the results. But how many will say in 10 weeks you'll be a new version of yourself, thanking the old you for making that call to Awaken 180? 40 by the 4th isn't just a slogan. It's an opportunity to succeed with Reclaim by Awaken 180. Only at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res. You might think because you mop off and your floors are clean, but they're actually collecting dirt not obvious to the eye. After a while, the hardwood or tile or LVP looks dull. This is where Zero Res can help. This month, 20% off all hard floor cleaning. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Call 287-5727 or go online at zeroresjacksonville.com. Make sure to ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
This week we talk Jaguars and we talk draft and we talk NFL, and it's a fun week in the NFL. But I think maybe the golden moment might have been talking about the ball coach, I think, and the fun we had covering him and knowing him. Steve Spurrier turns 80. And by the way, Steve Spurrier's not going anywhere. He's 81 years old. I don't want to sound like an obit, but it was a good day to celebrate him. He turned 81 years old today. Hard to believe. Took that Florida job when he was 44 years old in 1989. The ball coach turned 81 today, and that was, I think, the golden.
How many more titles would he have won, do you think, if he had stayed at Florida until, let's say, like 2010?
Probably national titles. Well, Urban won 2 at the same school, so those. No disrespect to Urban, but those. Probably he finished with officially 6 SECs and 1 natty. I would probably say 8 or 9 SECs and 2 or 3 natties.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I think that's fair.
He has said he left too early. He said he was angered by the fact that 10-2 wasn't good enough anymore. Mm-hmm. He always wanted to test the NFL. Daniel Snyder wanted him, but he said he should have stayed 4 or 5 more years. Hey, one thing we'll talk more about as the week goes on, but Ruben Chinyelu announced today that he's going to test the NBA waters, but if he doesn't go to the draft or comes out of the draft, he'll go back to Florida. Which we all know he's not going to be drafted. So essentially, he made a de facto announcement today that he's coming back to Florida. I'll give you credit. You said all along all 3 guys would be back. Condon, now we pretty much know Chinyelu's coming back. I told you at the start, I thought Chinyelu back, Houck out, Condon 50-50. And if you put my gun to a head, I'd say both Condon and Houck out. Well, I was dead wrong on Condon. Chinyelu is back. There is momentum that people think Houck's coming back. I might be, and boy, I would love to be wrong, but I mean, there's momentum, isn't there? And part of it is, I have been told by those on the inside that you can't believe the numbers of what the payroll will be in basketball. That it would shock you if you heard what those numbers are.
And again, every time we see Todd Golden coaching a game, there's Hugh Hathcock right behind, and other boosters.
Right.
But you can recognize Hugh Hathcock if you know who he is. Once you know who he is, you basically can't miss him. And so this is what I think we've learned with Florida fans, their fan base, but particularly their big boosters, but the fan base in general. Because again, anybody can give to Florida Victorious. Give $25 a month. If 5,000 Gator fans that aren't giving to Florida Victorious today signed up tonight to give $25 a month, and I'm not, look, spend your money however you want to spend it, but if you're an avid Gator fan and you get a lot of joy in seeing them do well, if 5,000 of you sign up for that amount, it creates a strong grassroots campaign. But what we're really talking about are the big money guys. And when they see that the coach that they're investing in is delivering national titles, SEC tournament titles, SEC regular season titles, setting the program record for scoring for 3 consecutive years.
Right.
At a school that's already done a lot in basketball. Todd Golden has broken the program record for scoring in each of the last 3 years. I think what you're seeing is Florida fans are willing to give. What's the number? What do you need, Coach? What do you need, Coach? Now, what will be really interesting, because we know football spending has not been that. So if that's going to be the ultimate question for Florida's fan base, and they're big money guys, is if John Sumrall, what if John Sumrall goes 10-2 this season? Well, I guarantee you, I shouldn't say I guarantee you, but my expectation would be that whatever Florida's football money is this year, if he delivers a 10-win season, it will go up by 50% for the 27 season.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe, hard to think for a minute that there's not energy there. We'll see. We'll take a break. Back to wrap the program. Say hello to Rick Ballou after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA playoffs getting underway this past weekend. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who won their first game against the Phoenix Suns, are minus 120 to repeat as NBA champions. The San Antonio Spurs, who played their first playoff game Sunday since 2019, plus 600 to win the championship. The Boston Celtics are plus 600 to win the title. The Denver Nuggets plus 1,300. Cleveland is also plus 1,300, and the New York Knicks plus 2,200 to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. In the NHL, Colorado plus 280 to win the Stanley Cup, Carolina plus 420, and the Tampa Bay Lightning plus 700.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, KeysOfProgress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Your tax refund has plans. A vacation? A flat screen TV? Well, your plumbing has other ideas. If you've been putting off a major repair, this is your chance to get the work done and save money. With the tax refund plumbing upgrade from Duck Duck Rooter, get $500 off any major plumbing repair over $5,000. That's real savings. Duck Duck Rooter delivers honest, upfront pricing and experienced pros who do it right. Call to schedule a free estimate. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. Financing is available.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
It's 420, so I'll be blunt. If you're in a car accident, it can be a major buzzkill. Whether it's a joint injury or chronic pain, your representation shouldn't be half-baked. At Woolsey Morecambe, we put the lit in litigation. Roll up strong cases and weed out the defenses. Keep your future high and don't get burned by the insurance companies. We'd love to hear from you. Woolsey Morecambe, offices Jacksonville. Highly experienced, bluntly honest. Call us at 1-800-WOOL-SEY.
Jacksonville, are you ready to get back to the activities you love this spring? McHugh Health has helped patients for over 10 years relieve joint pain and rebuild tissue without surgery. Their regenerative medicine therapies reduce inflammation and restore mobility so you can hit the golf course, pickleball court, or softball field with ease. Don't live with pain. Schedule your free consultation today at McHughHealth.com. That's MCHUGH Health.com.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is teaming up with the NFL to inspire change. From now to draft day, Big Brothers Big Sisters is following the NFL draft, aiming to recruit potential bigs. Hi, I'm Brent from the 1010 sales team. I'm committed as a mentor, and we need you to step up and become a mentor too. There's a waiting list of more than 50 children hoping for a mentor. It's just a few hours a month. Be a mentor. Become a big. Visit bbbsnefl.org. Be a mentor or visit Big Brothers Big Sisters and click on Big Draft.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
I like this song.
Me too. I like songs that tell a story.
Yeah. I finally saw Steve Miller. It took me forever. Finally saw him about 2 years ago. I'd never seen Steve Miller. I told you that. I told the story in the year many times. In a good mood. JJ, give something away. You got to have something in there, don't you?
I do.
What's in the pouch?
I have a 4-pack to see the men's Sporting Jacks game against Hayes Carline's arch nemesis, Miami FC.
Gonna egg that bus when it rolls into town.
At Hodges Stadium. That is Saturday, the 25th of April at 7:30. Orby Car
Let
number
me get
4
this
right
straight.
now.
They have the audacity to show their face in this city after the
couldn't
stuff
believe
that
it.
they've pulled.
I can't believe it, but they will be back here Saturday, April 25th.
I know where I'll be.
And guess where 4 people will be? There too, right? What do you want them to do? Give you a call right
Yeah,
now?
641-1010. Easy as that.
All right, there you give it a
And
call.
while you're watching the show, obviously listen to the 1010XL Soccer Show on YouTube.
That's
while you're
right.
at it.
Absolutely. You should do
Tell
that.
the name of it again is JJ Soccer Show?
Yes.
Okay. Love it.
All right, that comes up. Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. Rick Ballou comes up in just a minute or two. The draft will be on Thursday. We will not do our normal Jaguar Network show. Jeff Lagerman and I will have it for you on Friday night. It's going to be really going to be a sort of fun time on Friday. We'll do the Frangie show from 4 to 6 there. Rick Ballou goes on for 6 to 7, and then the Jaguar Network show. Jeff Lagerman will join me. Assorted other guests will be on the program, and we'll take you right through it'll be unusual because we usually do the Monday night, and we usually air it around 7 o'clock, either 6 or 7, and then we have an hour. I asked Jeff to kind of tell his first round story. Tony used to do that when he was with us. We would certainly hear from GMs and coaches and some of the critical folks. Well, it's going to be a different show now. By the time we air on the first round will be in the books. The Jags will be picking that night. And how much they've reduced
5
the
minutes,
time?
I think, in the second round.
Even still, right?
I think they reduced first round from 10 minutes to 8 minutes this year.
That's correct.
And then
but
I think
the second's down the same.
I
then.
think it's 5.
Yeah, I think it's so 5 minutes, but so it's going to move quickly.
It will.
And so we'll be able to give you plenty of updates and the like. So so we'll certainly have that planned for you, and we're looking forward to that. But it'll be a different kind of a draft show than we've ever done before. So, hey, look, the draft is always a lot of fun, and I look forward to the draft, and I'm going to look forward to it as we always do. So that comes up on Friday night. And then, it's kind of interesting. The draft is sort of, at least around here, where there's not baseball, basketball, or hockey at the major league level, the draft is sort of the end of our season. If you think about it, if you cover sports in Jacksonville or follow sports in Jacksonville, the season really kind of starts with SEC Media Days around the 15th of July or so, the 20th. Right after that, Jaguar training camp. So training camp comes right after that. And once training camp starts, it is on, brother. Then it's the college football season, the NFL football season, right up through the end of the football season, the Super Bowl. College basketball gets going, and of late, that's been of great interest around here. That feeds into the Final Four, which feeds into the Players' Championship, which feeds into the Masters, which feeds into the draft. Right? So really, if you really try to put a calendar on the sports year around here, It starts with training camp, and I think you catch your breath after the draft for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I mean, there's a mini camp, and but for the most part.
It's interesting covering sports in this market because you have games that you can break down. September, to your point, I'd say it ends right about the Masters.
Yeah.
Final Four, and then you shift for about a 5-month stretch where it's all projection.
Yeah, that's right.
And opinions get solidified, which makes it great because those opinions that get solidified from now until September crumble because certain things don't happen that you think are going to. But it's interesting covering sports in this market because now we've entered, I'd say, a 4 or 5 month window where it's more what we think is going to happen, not reacting to what we're actually seeing on the field.
You're exactly right. And then we have a little bit of a catch your breath off season. Doesn't last very long. Let's say a little Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Were you watching the golf drama yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I told this story. I played Saturday, but also played yesterday.
Yeah.
So I went out at about 4:30 to play, and Scheffler had been down 4. He was at 15, and then he got it to 3, 16 under. So he's 3 shots back with, 5, 6 holes left. And I told my buddies, he's going to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we weren't watching anymore. We were playing golf, but no surprise at all that and then once he caught him, I thought he was going to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. And 204 yards out, a 4-iron, leaving it 12 feet from the cup was pretty spectacular. Yeah, I went to the beach early, and we were able to get to a nice place to watch it for the entire back 9, and plus the playoff hole. So, I mean, that was it. And what a weekend between hockey and the NBA and Major League Baseball. I mean, this is an incredible year. Tommy, I just heard you two talking about it. I've always said I enjoy the offseason more than I actually do in season because everything is measured by wins and losses. And, the Jaguars are still next to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the second losingest franchise in the history of the NFL, which means a lot of Jaguar fans for 31 years have had awful Mondays. Now, last year was great. I think this year is going to be great. But I like the offseason better than in season.
Well, certainly you can catch your breath a little bit in the offseason. No question about that. What's coming up tonight?
All right, we got a draft analyst coming up in 18 minutes. We'll give you the very latest. I was also down there at the Miller Electric Center today. Heard from Liam Cohen. I'll tell you what, this new kid they got, Rook, there may be a little something more there than maybe I realized when the trade was announced. He seemed very excited about it. Josh Hines-Allen spoke today, and Trevor Lawrence did as well.
All coming up, right? Yep. Rick Ballou goes into the night. That is right now. Hayes, great to have you back.
Yes, thank you so
Hayes
much.
Back from a much-deserved vacation. He'll be here all week long. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, but live from UNF. UNF base, boy, are they good this year. My good, best team in the A-Sun. And they'll get tested tomorrow night. They play the Seminoles. So UNF FSU tomorrow night. We'll be live at UNF. Look forward to it. That'll do it for our program. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.